This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Too many people have been victim to this office.
Tonight, fallout from alleged workplace bullying by Victoria Bylaw officers. The follow-up to a story we brought to you first, also tonight.
By bringing cancer services here, we will change people's lives.
Committed to care, breaking ground on a new facility in Nanaimo, offering closer-to-home treatments for Mid-Island cancer patients. Plus, Adam finds out the enduring love story behind a Halloween house in Nanaimo. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with fallout from a story we broke right here on CTV News about investigations into bullying, disrespect, and discrimination in the City of Victoria's Bylaw Department. Past employees allege the workplace culture is toxic. CTV's Anna McMillan has more tonight from the mayor and two specialists who focus on workplace inclusivity.
Victoria's mayor is reacting to the revelation that the city's bylaw department has seen a series of workplace conduct investigations in recent years.
It's disappointing to hear that any number of investigations would arise in any department.
Marianne Alto says city council is limited in how it can respond.
In general, it would be unusual for a governance board to interfere in personnel, particularly when we have very robust personnel policies, a very robust department that deals with human resources, and one municipal employee, that being the city manager.
The city manager was not available for an interview.
Our option would be to direct our one employee, the city manager, to investigate in some capacity, provide a report, and see where that goes.
Whether city council will go that route remains to be seen. The workplace investigations looked into complaints of disrespect, discrimination, bullying, and harassment.
I was called a witch, I was called fat, I was called stupid, I was called an alcoholic.
Too many people have been victim to this office.
Those are former employees of the bylaw department, which has 35 staff members. Through a Freedom of Information request, CTV News revealed 8 separate employees initiated 10 workplace conduct investigations over the past 5 years. 8 of the complaints were found to be legitimate.
I would say that's extremely high.
And in this case, the numbers are way out of whack.
Those workplace inclusivity consultants say mitigating future harm is essential.
In some of our work, that involves doing an audit to understand what the existing culture is and how people are feeling.
They say there's an opportunity to educate employees on what's expected of them.
And if you don't follow the codes of conduct, there will be repercussions. So it has to have teeth, whether it's from the HR department or from the boss themselves.
The city doesn't comment on personnel matters, but says its policies establish expected standards for employee conduct and that it's committed to providing a safe and respectful work environment. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Shovels are in the ground, and the Mid-Island is now one step closer to having its very own cancer treatment facility. The province says the new centre will allow a lot more islanders to get cancer treatments closer to home. CTV's Andy Garland reports.
When Qualicum resident Joanne Falve was battling brain cancer 5 years ago, she could not handle the travel for treatment.
My family temporarily relocated to Victoria.
Now cancer-free, she's relieved to see that other islanders who are on their own cancer journey will soon be closer to home for treatment and not have to uproot their families.
My children needed their friends. They needed their grandma close by. My husband could have used an extra set of hands to help him because he was doing everything.
This morning, a ceremonial groundbreaking was held at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital for the construction phase of the new BC Cancer Centre.
By bringing cancer services here, we will change people's lives.
The 3-story centre will have 16 treatment bays, 2 treatment rooms, CT and PET CT scanners, and an oncology ambulatory care centre, as well as 4 linear accelerator vaults to safely deliver radiation treatment.
Provide radiation treatment to 1,600 patients through approximately 20,000 treatment visits in its first year.
While being built, the Health Ministry is looking to train and recruit new staff who specialize in cancer treatment for the new centre.
We're going to continue that work to recruit the specialists, the support staff, all of the allied health professionals that are necessary to making a cancer centre so successful.
Not only does NRGH need the cancer centre, the Ministry of Infrastructure says they have also heard from the community and local experts about the need for a new patient tower and, more importantly, a cardiac cath lab.
Is a top priority for them. We look forward to continuing to work with Island Health and our partners to deliver on the rest of our commitments within the remainder of our 4-year term.
The Nanaimo Cancer Centre is expected to be open sometime in 2028. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
Police in Victoria are looking for some help from the public in finding a missing man who was last seen in September. In a previous release, Victoria PD say Trishan, a 28-year-old man, was last seen on September 12th. However, updates to their investigation now reveal he was actually last seen a few days earlier on September 9th in the 100 block of Gorge Road East. Trishan is described as 6 feet tall with a bigger build and black hair. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact police as soon as possible. Daytime closures are expected in the coming days on one of the main access roads in the remote community of Bamfield. Closures will take place on both Sunday and Monday to allow crews to complete safety work on Bamfield Main Road. The road will be fully shut from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Sunday, with single-lane alternating traffic from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday. Additional closures are expected as work continues, and that may change with minimal notice depending on weather and progress. Updates to the closure can be found online at drivebc.ca. The City of Victoria is marking the beginning of the Remembrance season with a ceremony honoring fallen soldiers and island veterans. The first poppy of the season was handed out to Victoria Mayor Marianne Alto from retired veteran Andrew Gates, a symbolic gesture to kick off the Royal Canadian Legion's Poppy campaign. The ceremony also featured an annual flag raising to remember those who gave their lives in the line of duty.
I personally get really upset when I realize that people have to die to correct the problems that we sort of slide into or back into. So remembering is an active kind of thing. And if I can impress upon you and anybody else who's listening to this, to really remember what is important for the society in which we live.
The province's official Remembrance Day ceremony will be held on November 11th in front of the Victoria Cenotaph at the BC Legislature. Kool-Aid and Kia Victoria are once again teaming up to provide 10,000 pairs of warm socks to people living on the streets in the capital region. The annual campaign is called Socks for Survival. It began in 2006. Over the years, more than 170,000 pairs of socks have been gathered, valued at more than $660,000. This is the 6th year Kia Victoria has been part of the sock drive and is once again matching all donations up to $5,000 to provide warm, clean socks for those experiencing homelessness.
Clean socks, warm feet, it's something that we take for granted. Most people don't really think about that. They have a drawer in their house full of socks and they put a pair on every morning. But people that are unhoused or people that are in difficult situations, they don't have the same access. And from what we hear back from some of the health providers, that these people sometimes don't change their socks at all, don't even take their shoes off because they don't have the opportunity. And so, I mean, it's a small thing having a warm pair of socks, but it can be a very big thing to somebody that's in need.
To make a cash donation, you can visit the Kia Victoria dealership on the north end of Government Street or through the Kool-Aid Society's website. Affordability is one of the big issues expected to be addressed by the Carney government in next week's budget. Tonight, we're speaking to Canadians facing rising costs on what would help them the most. CTV's Andrew Johnson has one family's unique story.
Crack it open. In the Higgins household, Mom and her helpers are making sourdough from scratch, trying to save.
The cost is, $4 or $5 a loaf. My kids go through so much bread. So much bread.
And the family of 5 is making tough choices at the grocery store.
Juice is becoming a luxury, something that I'm like, maybe we need to stick to milk and water for the kids.
Ahead of Budget Day, Caitlin Higgins' ask from Ottawa is a way to pay less.
Gas and groceries, I mean, those, they really drain our accounts.
The family is fortunate to own their own home in one of the most unaffordable regions of the country. In fact, 3 generations of the Higgins family live in multiple homes on what used to be one lot. Next door, Caitlin's brother-in-law Patrick is feeling the same pinch.
This morning I went out with my girlfriend. We went to a park, and before we got a couple coffees and breakfast. It was like $30.
Patrick is pulling for the feds to forge a quick path toward economic peace with the U.S.
Find a way to smooth that out, and I'm not saying, appease everything that Trump has to say, which is not the answer.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Patrick's parents tore down the rancher they raised 7 children in to build 4 smaller homes and help their kids. They want to see all levels of government help more people do the same.
The federal government could do a lot by giving tax breaks to people that redevelop their own property. We really want young people, not just our own kids, but other young people to have a chance to own a home on the ground where they can put down roots.
Thinking outside the box on housing, cheaper groceries and gas, and a smoother way forward with the U.S. The asks from the Higgins family in North Delta, BC. Go! Andrew Johnson, CTV News.
Still to come, from Vancouver Island to the World Series.
He's our first alumni to make the World Series, so we're really proud of that.
Ahead of a special Halloween game day, we find out how a former Victoria Harbour cat climbed and clawed his way to baseball's biggest stage. A stormy-looking 9 degrees. We'll have the forecast from a very special costumed Anne Lou coming up.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
West Shore Youth, looking for a fun spot to hang out? Youth nights are here. Skating, art, swims, and a place to chill. Staff-led and supervised for a safe, inclusive vibe. Check out wspr.ca for more info.
Well, Anne Lou joins us with a special guest.
Lucy the bee.
Yes, Lucy the bee. There we go.
The rain definitely helping us out because I'm a flower, she's a bee. We love it. The trick-or-treaters, not so much. So here's a look at our satellite radar imagery. We do have a low-pressure system moving its way through. I don't know why we're not on the Vancouver Island forecast. We are going to see rain ease off as we head into the evening hours, but then redevelop as we head into the next tomorrow, and drying off as we head into Sunday. We will see a few scattered showers in there as well. I'm going to try to push this way through, hoping we can get to the island forecast. For some reason, it's not moving. Unfortunately, we don't have it. For the whole region, you will see a rain to start off the day. It does clear up as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Showers expected for Sunday, and then we're going to see a drying trend with rain redeveloping as we head into Wednesday. Temperatures in the low teens, and then as we head into the next few days, it's not going to be too bad at all. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. I'm very sorry for the technical difficulties there, Nafisa, but the bee and I say have a good, happy Halloween.
You know, it's ghosts and goblins everywhere, including the weather software.
Right,
so we're just going
to
chalk it up to spooks. Thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, our friends over at Virgin Radio were in the community this morning getting an early start to the year's spookiest day. 107.3 Virgin Radio's Bailey and Johnny kicked off the trick-or-treating bright and early this morning, inviting little ghouls, goblins, and princesses to stop by the radio station to grab a treat on the way to school. Now, although the sentiment may not be shared by teachers who have to deal with the sugar rush aftermath, it was an ideal Halloween start for many of the terrifying tots.
Oh, it's been amazing seeing people come up to drive through trick-or-treat. You don't get a lot of that in the city. It's been so fun seeing listeners face-to-face, all the amazing costumes, very, very cute. Everyone dressing up. It's so great to see everyone out having a good time for Halloween.
Well, the party continues all night on Virgin Radio with a special Halloween DJ mix shows and all the K-pop demon hunters you can handle. Sign me up. Well, an unlikely Halloween Friday mashup has sparked a fever pitch. Many baseball fans are faced with a conundrum: prime-time trick-or-treating or watch as Canada's Major League team could win the World Series. CTV's Yvonne Raymond reports.
Ghoulish get-ups deck city streets for kids who are ready to have a ball.
When it's gotten too rainy, I go home.
And this year marks an unusual treat.
I think the scariest thing would be someone being dressed up as a live score update.
On the eve of Halloween, some attention will turn to the screen.
Go Jays!
Canada's only Major League team could win it all at the World Series.
We definitely have to cheer for the Blue Jays. One of our former players, Nathan Lucas, is on the Blue Jays.
He was the Victoria Harbour Cats Player of the Year in 2014.
Nathan Lucas is playing top shelf.
He's our first alumni to make the World Series, so we're really proud of that.
He's just so versatile, right? He can run the bases. He's defensively absolutely incredible. Has a good read in the ball.
Fans are keen to catch it on their own time.
You gotta close your blinds, make sure no one can see the score.
As a conundrum of sorts.
You know, thank God for PVR today, right?
Puts kids first.
I'm not a huge sports fan, to be honest. Don't hate me. Love just going out with my kids and spending time with my family.
Clearly, it's the night for the children, and that's always the case.
Go root for the Jays. Have fun. Do what you love to do.
Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, Victoria.
FRS Clipper is hoping to capitalize on some recent successes it saw during the Toronto Blue Jays Seattle Mariners playoff series. During those home games in Seattle, the ferry service ran special sailings called the Playoff Express, bringing Canadian Jays fans to Seattle to watch the games. The demand was high, and now the Clipper has partnered with the Seattle Seahawks to become the team's official ferry provider. Beginning November 8th, Seahawks-themed sailings will begin running through the end of the team's season. They're calling it Sailgate, bringing tailgate parties to the Juan de Fuca Strait.
Given the geopolitical tensions and people not wanting to travel south to America, we realize sports can still bring people together, as it always has done. And so the Clipper's there, bringing Seattle and Victoria together, as it always has done for 40 years. We're going to have a dedicated fan zone. We're going to have games and prizes, specialty drinks, everything Seahawks themed. So you can experience the Seahawks the moment you step on board and get to Seattle.
The Seahawks have a strong Canadian fan base with nearly 4,000 Canadian season ticket holders, and an average of more than 25,000 single-game tickets are sold to Canadians. The province is encouraging Mid-Island rabbit owners to take precautions after several wild rabbits were found dead near Nanaimo. Multiple deceased rabbits have been found in Cedar, showing symptoms of rabbit hemorrhagic disease. That's a virus that spreads through direct contact between rabbits. The highly contagious disease has not been confirmed as the cause of death, but testing is reportedly underway. Owners can help protect their pets by practicing good hygiene and keeping rabbits away from areas where the disease may be present. Coming up, Creative Connection. Adam finds out how Halloween inspired a Nanaimo couple to fall in love. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
A trusted voice focused on Vancouver Island first.
Good news for tourism.
Sharing stories.
We're here in Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a growing issue. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at CTV News VancouverIsland.ca.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out the love story behind a creative Halloween house in Nanaimo on tonight's Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Rather than boy meets girl, Nicole and Todd Cameron say their love story began when his Ace Ventura pet detective meets her living dead zombie.
And I didn't talk to him. I basically spewed out blood at him.
And I thought, that is Halloween spirit that I could really get behind.
Later, Todd reached out online and they connected instantly.
It felt as though we found each other as like a childhood playmate.
While their friendship eventually evolved into a romance, their passion for being creative remained constant and culminated with crafting their Halloween costumes in June.
Just like sense of awe and wonder, sense of having fun.
After they exchanged vows during a Back to the Future themed wedding, Todd and Nicole posed for alien-themed maternity photos that went viral before welcoming a baby boy just days before Halloween.
We decided on the name Jack because it's Halloween themed, but it's not so Halloween like Ichabod.
Or their black cat named Boo. Instead, Jack, no relation to a lantern, is free to be whoever he wants for Halloween, followed by his parents creating costumes to complement his.
Our goal as our parents to use imagination and play.
And when Jack spots a shivering Halloween decoration, make sure it's caught on camera when he proudly impersonates it for the first time. Jack's also good at impersonating his dad while decorating their front yard.
And then he backs up on the street and looks back and he'll nod his head and he'll be like, yep, looks good.
And Jack's right. Their home is one of those Halloween houses that people go out of their way to visit, thanks to a collection of classic and contemporary characters that's more fun than frightening.
One of my favorite things is look out the window and to see a young family, like then their eyes are white and the kids are pointing.
Because rather than striving to make their community creepy, like their love story, Nicole and Todd are hoping their Halloween creativity will encourage people to feel connected.
And if you're having fun with your friends and your family, the rest is going to kind of take care of itself.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Nanaimo.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Today on CTV News, a teenage girl groped at a bus stop.
Something like this is concerning given the victim's young age.
The man now under arrest and the hunt for two bystanders who intervened. Also tonight.
I don't like it much.
I'm glad I get an extra hour of sleep.
But are you getting more sleep? It's almost time to fall back, but it turns out Canadians aren't really using that extra hour to rest or recharge. And
you got some pants on, officer?
How a police officer found himself out of order by appearing pantsless at a virtual court hearing.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The city of Surrey is calling on both the federal and provincial governments to step up and do more to address the problem of extortion threats targeting the South Asian community. Mayor Brenda Locke is calling for 150 additional police officers from the RCMP and Combined Forces Special Enforcement Unit to tackle the ongoing shootings of homes and businesses. Locke met with Public Safety Minister Nina Krieger to discuss the issue and urge immediate action. She is asking for the issue to be a top law enforcement priority and feels Surrey is being ignored.
I believe that if this was happening in Vancouver, in Toronto, if this was happening in Victoria or Calgary, there would have been a much, much more elevated attention to it. 70 people, 70 extortions in our city. Just in Surrey.
Minister Krieger has now addressed the issue in a letter to her counterparts in Ottawa, calling for additional support to combat extortion. Locke says to date, 40 people have had bullets coming through their doors, and some people have even sent their children out of the province because of the violence. Transit police have arrested a man after the disturbing sexual assault of a teenage girl at a Surrey bus stop. The alleged incident, which you might find upsetting, happened in June, and police say despite the arrest, they want more bystanders to come forward. CTV's Ben Nesbitt reports.
Police say the 16-year-old victim was just waiting for a bus here at the Scottsdale Exchange when the suspect allegedly approached her and conducted a series of disturbing acts.
He engaged conversation with her, even despite knowing her age. She told him she was 16. He allegedly tried to kiss her and then sexually assaulted her and exposed his genitals to her.
Police say two women stepped in and intervened and the man ran away. It happened on June 28th. But police say after a longer investigation, the man who's in his late 30s was arrested a few weeks ago and released with conditions. Investigators are still hoping to speak with the two women who stepped in to help strengthen the case, while also commending the girl for coming forward.
Often sexual assaults are unreported. They are very unreported because sometimes victims feel nervous or they feel guilty, and we just ask that if something like this has happened to you or you've witnessed something like this, to reach out to Transit Police.
Police say they are now preparing a report to Crown Counsel and will be recommending a single charge of sexual assault. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Surrey.
A 29-year-old woman has died after a crash that shut down Highway 1 for several hours last night. Emergency crews were called to the two-vehicle crash near Popcombe between Chilliwack and Hope just before 7 p.m. Images from the scene show a white SUV with significant front-end damage and a black sedan facing the opposite direction. A passenger in the sedan was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver, a 65-year-old man, was seriously injured and airlifted to hospital. 3 others were taken to hospital by ambulance. The cause of the crash is under investigation. The BC Highway Patrol says criminality is not being ruled out. We'll get ready to turn back time. Clocks fall back 1 hour this weekend as we return to standard time. While scrapping the twice-a-year switch is still up for debate, experts say the change can take a toll on your sleep and overall well-being. Some people look forward to that extra hour of rest. Others say the darker days make it harder to stay motivated. A new survey shows many Canadians feel far from rested after the switch, and sleep researchers warn the impact can go beyond just feeling tired.
I don't like it much. I'm more of an evening person, so I definitely prefer having more time in the evening that's with light.
I'm glad I get an extra hour of sleep.
A lot of young Canadians, even though they're excited about getting more sleep, they actually feel a lot more tired when the clocks are turning back. About 30% of them are feeling, less motivated. 27% are struggling to maintain those healthy habits and routine.
Experts recommend shifting bedtime a little later each night leading up to Sunday while maintaining a consistent wake-up time, also limiting electronics before bed and getting outside in the morning light. Following major scrutiny of its spending and handling of major projects, Metro Vancouver has passed a pared-down budget. The regional body has been criticized with questions over director pay and major cost overruns at the North Shore wastewater treatment plant. This budget will mean households will pay an extra 2.5% next year in Metro Vancouver fees. However, a handful of directors voted no.
Approving an annual budget sounds fine for the number, but we're not addressing those systemic issues that absolutely need to be addressed. I've been talking about this for 6 years, and we just can't. We know what the cost drivers are. We know what the external forces are that are driving some of these costs.
It's been a very difficult process, and as you can see, not everyone always agrees on everything, and that's democracy, and that's why we have 41 people sitting around that table trying to make the best decisions possible.
The slimmed-down budget means the planned household fee increase has been cut in half from what was initially projected. After the break, we'll take you to a local haunt.
A lot of unhappy, angry people, and there's just this funny energy that presses up against, well, right now pressing up against my back.
Our St. John Alexander takes you into the depths of the old penitentiary in New Westminster, where even paranormal experts are uncomfortable. Stay with us if you dare. Well, on this Halloween, we take you inside what's considered one of the most haunted buildings in the province. Once a prison for the most hardened criminals, it's long been closed. However, there are some who believe some inmates never left. Here's St. John Alexander.
Imposing and intimidating, this fortress is designed to belittle. The Gothic revival with turrets and towers is the grim public face of what was the entrance to New Westminster's notorious penitentiary. The top floors of the gatehouse are inviting. Glimmering chandeliers still exist, but we were warned as we ventured below, the basement often gives people a fright. Tiny rooms off long, dark corridors that are now used for storage once stored BC's most heinous criminals, holding cells or solitary confinement for armed robbers, murderers, serial killers.
Not a happy bunch, usually a very aggressive bunch, but very violent bunch.
Construction of BC Pen began in 1878, and at one point 765 prisoners were behind its bars, including bandit Billy Miner, who escaped and was never caught. Most of it is long gone, yet it seems some convicts never left.
I know that it has the most paranormal activity, in my opinion, of any location on the west coast of Canada, and probably on the entire west coast.
Check 1, 2. This team has written about or investigated hauntings around the world. They are not easily spooked. And yet, not one of them is comfortable here.
Overwhelming feeling like behind my head that I need to watch out. I'm feeling like there's something, like I need to protect myself.
A lot of unhappy, angry people. And there's just this funny energy that presses up against, well, right now, pressing up against my back.
Are you sure? The investigators swear that during a prior visit, they captured a recording of a man who was threatening violence.
This was as plain as you talking to me right now.
Then, while alone, Amanda Quill took this photo and was startled by the figures over her shoulder.
Here I know I'm being watched. I know that this is not... Something might come home with us tonight, and I gotta be aware of that.
The spirit seekers are passionate about the supernatural, but the moment their interviews were over, they wasted no time making a quick escape. St. John Alexander, CTV News, New Westminster.
Well, it is the spookiest night of the year, but it also feels like the soggiest. The rain doesn't seem to be a deterrent for kids who have their sights set on getting that candy. CTV's Brianne Foley joins us live from East Vancouver. So, Brianne, how is it looking out there?
Well, Nafisa, we have seen some trick-or-treaters brave enough to come out in these conditions, but the big thing is that the wind and the rain is actually adding to the ambiance of this beautiful house. Now, this is the house of Wee Wong. He has been prepping this since September, does this every year. He said he started back in the 2000s just with the front yard, and then it grew into the backyard, it grew into the shed. So he loves Halloween and is definitely giving a sight for sore eyes. We have seen a lot of people coming by taking video, although we haven't seen many trick-or-treaters quite yet. Hopefully the rain will let up in a little bit, but he does expect to see upwards of 1,000 people like he normally does every single year. Nafisa?
Well, it is a soggy night for the little ghosts and goblins, but is the weekend a washout? Anne's full forecast is coming up. And later, a dog trapped on a cliff gets a high-flying rescue. How a drone in the right place at the right time spotted the poor pooch. We'll be right back.
I'm Stitchhead.
Whoa, is this a castle?
The castle is full of monsters, and monsters mean money.
They're cute, maybe a little creepy, and they have to defend themselves against an angry mob. We'll get a review of Stitchhead right after the forecast. Anne!
Yay!
You don't look like yourself today.
Do I look like I'm blooming?
You are. You are a rosy posy.
Yes, with a little bee here. Lucy is going to help me with the forecast today. Yeah, I'm delicious, aren't I? All right, we are seeing wet weather out there right now. Warnings continue as well for the inland sections of the north coast, as well as parts of Metro Vancouver and Howe Sound, all the way to Whistler. 50 to 80 millimeters of rain expected. And through this evening, southeasterly winds at 90 kilometers an hour for the central interior. So very soggy for the little trick-or-treaters right now. Here's a look at our weather tracker. A heavy rain pretty much across the lower mainland right now. We do have a break in the system for the older trick-or-treaters starting around 7 o'clock through the overnight, overcast skies. And then another wave of wet weather moves its way in for tomorrow morning. It will be heavy at times, and then it dries up, clears up through the afternoon just briefly, because tomorrow night we'll see another round of rain push its way through as well. For the southern interior, you're looking at showers from Kamloops right down to Osoyoos. You're looking at overcast skies for Cranbrook, 8 degrees, periods of rain for Revelstoke and Nelson. Mix of sun and cloud for Prince George, sunny breaks and 7 degrees for Quesnel Williams Lake. Showers along the coast for Bella Coola with a high of 5 degrees. Chance of afternoon thunder showers for Masset and Prince Rupert. Mostly sunny skies for the northeast corner of the province. For the North Island, you're looking at showers for Port Hardy. Unsettled for Campbell River and Comox with breaks through the afternoon. 12 degrees for the South Island. Showers for Tofino. You'll start off with rain, drying up for Port Alberni, clearing up for Nanaimo. Sunny breaks through the afternoon, 12 degrees for the Southern Gulf Islands and Victoria. Clearing through the afternoon for the Sunshine Coast. Soggy up the Sea to Sky Highway, 10 for Squamish, 7 for Whistler, and for us across the lower mainland. We'll start off wet. Clears up through the afternoon for most of Metro Vancouver, staying soggy for the Fraser Valley. Don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour before you go to bed tomorrow night. Showers expected with a few breaks for Sunday. Showers return on Monday, clearing up on Tuesday. Enjoy it, because more wet weather on the way for Wednesday, but warmer. We'll see a high of 12 degrees.
All right, thanks, Anne, and Lucy, too. A small, forgotten creature brought to life by a mad professor must step out of the shadows to protect his friends. CTV movie critic Richard Krause gives us his review of Stitchhead.
I must go down to the town and rescue Stitchhead.
So brave, very brave.
This is kind of like Tim Burton light a little bit. It's the story of a character named Stitchhead. He is the creation of the maddest of mad doctors who has ever lived. And this mad doctor has a habit of creating these monsters and then kind of forgetting about them, just letting them wander around his castle. So Stitchhead, which was his first creation, is in charge of sort of looking after all the monsters and making sure that they don't get into trouble with the townspeople that live just below the Mad Doctor's castle. When a traveling carnival comes to town, though, he is convinced, Stitchhead is convinced that he could become a big star in the carnival, so he leaves only to discover that, you know, his true friendships lie behind in the castle. And this is just a lovely animated movie playing in theaters for kids that's got good messages about acceptance and belonging. It's also got a few laughs. The pacing's a little bit off. Parents might get a little twitchy sitting through it, but I think kids will like it. It's called Stitchhead, and it's in theaters now.
A classic slasher franchise has just released a trailer for its 7th installment.
Hello? Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me?
Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox are among the stars returning for the latest Scream movie. Campbell's character Sydney is forced to protect her family when the Ghostface killer emerges in their new town. Scream 7 hits theaters on February 27th. With movie adaptations having a strong showing at the box office, another major media franchise is making the jump to the big screen. Warner Brothers says a Hello Kitty movie is on the way in 2028. The cartoon feline was introduced by Japanese company Sanrio more than 50 years ago and has since become a common sight on toys, clothing, and accessories. There's been no word on the plot, but Variety reports the Hello Kitty movie will be directed by Zootopia animator Leo Matsuda with a script from Wicked screenwriter Dana Fox. Well, if you love surprises and the big screen, Cineplex has just the thing for you. The theater chain is flipping the script with What the Film, a Monday surprise premiere where moviegoers won't know what they're watching until the lights dim. No title, no trailer, no spoilers, just a brand new unreleased movie. The first special screening hits select theaters on November 10th with a mystery movie that runs an hour and 56 minutes long. Tickets are $8.99 in theaters or at $1 to book ahead online. Well, I've covered a lot of trials over the years, but I've never heard a judge say this.
You got some pants on, officer?
A revealing moment during a virtual court hearing. We'll have more on the pantsless police officer coming up. You can take a look at this. Have a news tip, video, or photos of breaking news from your screen to ours? When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Email us at vantips@ctv.ca or text 10400. Now the preview of CTV News at 6, Michelle Bernoro.
And Nafisa, tonight, a woman who was sexually assaulted by a former recovery home worker is speaking exclusively to CTV News. She shares about the assault she endured 13 years ago. Adam Haber preyed on vulnerable women he was supposed to be helping. A judge is now considering his sentence. Plus, we'll have much more on the push by Surrey's mayor for 150 new officers to battle extortion violence in that city. And we'll hear about a haunted house event in Cloverdale that carries a special meaning this year in memory of a teen who loved Halloween. Nafisa?
Thanks, Michelle. A revealing Zoom call has a Michigan police officer going viral for leaving out a key component of his uniform. Plus, a dog trapped on a cliff gets a high-flying rescue. CNN's Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
A Michigan cop is going viral for all the wrong reasons after getting called out by a judge during a virtual courtroom hearing for not wearing pants.
You got some pants on, officer?
Sir, they're in the... No, sir.
The revealing moment happened during a virtual court testimony by the officer, and although he wasn't disciplined by the judge, according to WXYZ, the Detroit Police Department later said they are investigating the incident and plan to speak to officers about proper etiquette in court. I mean, hey, come on, who among us hasn't attended a work call in their boxer shorts, am I right? Anyone? Just me? Great. I've said too much. Viewers sometimes say, J-Ro, you sure do a lot of animal rescue stories, and I want you to know, hey, I hear you loud and clear, and I don't care. Because look at this poor dog trapped on a cliff. He needs help, you monsters. Sorry, that was an overreaction. Don't worry, officials with the San Francisco Police and Fire Departments collabed on an elaborate rescue op after a 40-foot tumble left the pooch perched precariously on a rocky ledge in Fort Funston. According to People.com, a police drone flying in the area just so happened to spot the trapped pet, which set off the multi-agency response. Officials set up a high-angle rigging system and rappelled their way down, then back up with the dog named Zeke in tow. Officials say Zeke was alert and conscious and was later reunited with his owner without injury. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The gang's all here. Yeah. If you're wondering what my costume is, I am an evil newscaster, or perhaps just call me Bad News.
Bad news indeed. Ha
more costumes. They might act tough on the ice, but Halloween can be scary, even for hockey players. The Anaheim Ducks partnered with a local business to create a scary hallway leading to the team's locker room, and the players all admitted they were scared. I would be too.
Yeah, that's very freaky.
Well, this one's a little more fun. Adam Sandler might have been seeing double after the Seattle Kraken got dressed up as different characters from his movies for Halloween.
Hey, everybody, you guys look
Sandler was in Seattle during his stand-up tour and made a surprise stop in the NHL team's locker room. Kraken players showed off their costumes that ranged from different Sandler films, including Don't Mess with the Zohan, 50 First Dates, and Billy Madison.
Amazing.
It's a great idea. I love
that. All right. Well, happy Halloween to everyone. We're very festive tonight. Happy Halloween. Take a look at our scenic snapshot from Sophie, the cutest little pumpkin around. Thanks, Maria, for sending this cute picture in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. How cute was she, Lucy?
And very well behaved.
Yes.
I'm not
just like
afraid of
Lucy.
that bee at all.
No,
You've
not at all.
been such a good girl, Lucy.
She won't sting you, don't worry.
No. But is there candy?
No candy.
No candy. All right. Well, Michelle will be back for CTV News at 6. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Right now, here is CTV National News with Heather Butts.